You don't remember the exact moment you stopped playing, when joy became something you watched from a distance instead of something you lived, when laughter became a performance instead of a release, when curiosity was renamed naivety, when wonder became weakness, when being spontaneous started feeling reckless. And somewhere between all those shifts, you turned into an adult who knows how to function, how to perform, how to produce, but forgot how to simply be. You forgot how to do something just because it feels good, how to get lost in a moment without asking what it's worth, without calculating its value or measuring its productivity, without judging yourself for wasting time on something that serves no purpose except making you feel alive. You watch children play and something inside you aches, not just nostalgia for a time you can return to, but grief for a version of you that got left behind somewhere between innocence and responsibility. It's the part that used to find magic in the ordinary, that could create entire worlds out of imagination, that felt deeply without dissecting every feeling, that wanted things without explaining why you deserved them, that believed joy was reason enough. But you've spent so long being serious, being dependable, being the responsible adult in the room, that you forgot there was supposed to be more to life than surviving it, more to existence than just getting through the day without falling apart. You can't do anything without purpose anymore. You can't rest without guilt, can't enjoy without justification, can't be silly without feeling childish, can't express joy without censoring it, can't try something new without needing to be good at it instantly. You analyze everything, intellectualize everything, rationalize everything, until there's no room left for wonder, no permission left for chaos, no space left for simply feeling without having to think about feeling. You've turned life into a checklist, relationships into transactions, leisure into recovery, and even when you try to relax, you're still monitoring yourself, still asking if you're doing it right, if you're being present enough, grateful enough, mindful enough, as if presence itself could be graded. But all that monitoring, all that control, is the very thing that keeps you from ever actually feeling free. This didn't happen in one day. It was a slow erosion, 1,000 tiny choices where you chose safety over authenticity, predictability over passion, control over chaos, until control became your identity and you forgot there was ever another way to live. Maybe someone laughed when you were excited. Maybe someone called you immature when you were just being playful. Maybe someone made you feel stupid for caring about something that didn't matter to them. Or maybe you just looked around and realized that all the adults you admired had hardened, stopped laughing, stopped playing, stopped dreaming, and you thought that's what growing up was supposed to mean. So you silenced the loud parts, buried the soft parts, and convinced yourself that being measured and composed was maturity, when really it was grief disguised as growth. But the truth is, those parts of you never died. They were just waiting beneath the noise, waiting for you to remember them, waiting for you to come back home. Here's what nobody tells you because everyone is pretending they refine. The child you were is still alive inside you, not as a memory or metaphor, but as a living pulse, a quiet heartbeat that has been begging for your attention. And that ache you feel, the emptiness, the fatigue, the quiet sense that something fundamental is missing, that's not depression or burnout. That's your inner child banging on the walls of your own self-imposed prison, begging you to let them out. They're asking you to let them play again, to feel again, to exist without needing to earn the right to take up space. Reconnecting with that child isn't some abstract therapy concept. It's rebellion. It is a sacred act of defiance against a world that told you joy needed to be earned. It's the radical decision to do something pointless, to be messy, loud, curious, passionate, ridiculous, to care about things that make no sense to anyone else but make your soul feel awake. Because happiness doesn't need to be earned, and it doesn't need to be explained. You can start reconnecting right now, not by analyzing or planning, but by doing something absolutely useless. Something small and magical that serves no purpose other than making you smile. Buy the candy you loved when you were 8. Watch the cartoon that used to make you laugh. Draw something terrible just for the joy of creating. Spin until you're dizzy. Sing at the top of your lungs without caring who hears. Wear something bright and ridiculous just because it makes you grin. Yes, your adult mind will scream that this is stupid, that you're wasting time, that you look foolish. But that voice is not wisdom, it's just the guard of the prison you've built. That voice believes seriousness is safety, but there's nothing safe about a life that forgets how to feel joy. A life without play isn't noble. It's just a quieter form of dying. You can begin by noticing every time you crush your own enthusiasm, when you dampen your joy, when you talk yourself out of excitement, because it's not practical. And instead of obeying that critical voice, you can thank it for trying to protect you and then do it anyway. Especially because it makes no sense. Especially because it's unnecessary. Especially because something inside you is whispering, "This, I want this. Please let me have this." You can start giving yourself the permission you've been waiting your whole life for. The permission to be weird, to be loud, to care about small things, to take joy seriously again. Because joy doesn't need to be justified. Play doesn't need a purpose. Happiness doesn't have to serve anyone else to be real. You can talk to your younger self, not as a memory but as a conversation, and ask them what they needed, what they missed, what they still want, and then you can give it to them now without waiting for permission. Be their protector, their advocate, their safe place, because nobody else was, and now it's your turn. The child you were doesn't need you to fix the past. They just need you to stop abandoning them in the present. Stop treating their needs as embarrassing, their joy as foolish, their desires as unimportant. You feel empty not because you lack purpose, but because you've been living with half your soul in hiding, the half that knows how to wonder, how to play, how to love without calculation. You were told to put away childish things, but nobody explained that childish things meant selfishness and cruelty, not joy and curiosity and imagination. So now you are standing in the ruins of a life that looks successful on paper, but feels hollow in your chest, wondering why all your achievements don't fill the silence. And the answer is simple: you can't fill a void with proof. What all's missing is you. The you that existed before the world taught you to perform for approval. The you that was whole before the applause. Being an adult was never supposed to mean killing the child. It was supposed to mean protecting them, giving them the safety and softness they were denied. And the bravest thing you can do now, the most rebellious, the most healing thing, is to let yourself play again. Let yourself be silly, be curious, be expressive, be ridiculous. Do things that don't build toward anything, that don't produce results, that serve no purpose except to remind you that being alive is reason enough. You are not a machine designed for productivity. You are a living being designed for experience, for feeling, for connection. Joy doesn't ask for permission, it only asks for space. The point of being alive was never to be impressive. It was always to be here, now, alive in the mess and magic of it all. Seriousness isn't strength. It's just another disguise for fear. And fear, left unchallenged, will steal every ounce of color from your life and call it maturity. You forgot how to play because someone convinced you that play was foolish, that joy was indulgent, that rest was laziness, and you believed them because you were small and they were big. But they were wrong. They were just children who never got to play, people who learned to hide their laughter behind discipline, people who traded aliveness for approval and called it success. But now you know better. Now you can see that the emptiness you carry isn't brokenness, it's self-abandonment. And the way back home isn't through effort or achievement. It's through softness, through laughter, through the tiny rebellions of joy that make no sense and require no permission. You can start now, in this very breath, by choosing to be the person you were before shame took over, before you learned that joy was dangerous, before you forgot that life is not a checklist, it's a playground. You survived so much, but you didn't survive to stay numb. You survived to live. So live, play, laugh, be ridiculous, be free, be you. Because the child inside you has waited long enough, and they deserve, more than anyone, to finally come out and play.